here in the YouTubes with people in my Zoom room. So I'm going to do a somatic inquiry practice today, and I'm going to really focus on the head-tail connection, and I'm going to layer it in a few different ways. So I'm going to start seated with this, and then I'm going to try it laying down, and then I'm going to try it from hands and knees, or from a quadruped position. Could be hands and feet. You can take this in any way that feels right to you. Like, you could do it in totally different versions than I am. I just feel like when we change our relationship to the floor and where the fluids in our body are pooling, our relationship to gravity, then we get more capacity for sensing in a different way. And also, when we're vertical seated, we can have like a certain amount of movement from our head tail. When we're laying down, that movement's going to change. And then when we're on all fours, again, it'll change. So we're going to start with that. So I'm going to start seated on my ball, like 4 miles away. I'm going to bring it a little closer. It's weird. Somehow I've set my thing up really far away. All right. Seated in any position that feels good in your body. Just letting yourself come into presence. Maybe slowing down the breath, or just even noticing the breath. Just going to shut these. The backlight situation. Noticing what you feel like in your body. And inviting in this awareness of the verticality of your spine. So the head-tail connection, up to down. And we're going to do a little bit of hands-on today. So instead of, I'm just going to move this even closer. Move my chair. There we go. So we're going to use a couple of different, we're going to use the Theta breath, which is a soft hissing sound. And then we're going to do it with humming. And the humming, when I hum, I like to let my tongue kind of move around inside, which creates overtones that I can hear inside my head. So I'm inviting that for you to play with, but we'll run it through once, and I'll just talk it through as we're going. And we'll probably run it through twice. We'll run it through once with the Theta breath, and then we'll run it through once with the humming, and then we'll try it in different positions and see how it goes. If you decide that you need different things, you need to move in a different way, feel free to allow that to come on and be part of your experience. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing. So let's start with rubbing our hands together. I'm just feeling the temperature, the humidity or lack of it, the dryness of your hands, the sensation of your skin, letting your two hands meet each other. What's soft and what's hard. If you have any calluses, anything like that, just feeling into that. And then taking your hands, and we're just going to place them over our eyes. And we're going to work with the Theta breath. So the soft hiss, and I'll just talk us through this. Finding the awareness of your central channel, and we're starting here at the top, and we're going to work our way sort of through and down with the hands on. So hands are just cupping the eyes. Then as you do the Theta breath, the soft hiss, if any micro movement is bubbling up, allow it to play out. So it could be in your eyes, could be in your spine or your torso or your hands, any part of your body with the micro movement. Inviting your awareness to come online, and inviting yourself to connect to your awareness. Your awareness is always there, but bringing yourself to the surface of your awareness. And that can be through sound, through sensation, through movement. And then the next place we're going to go to is hands over your ears, cupping your ears. And because I'm using earbuds, probably I'm just going to say what it is and then cup my ears and just do the sound. So what I'm thinking is that for each location, we're doing somewhere between 3 and 5 theta breaths, taking resting breaths whenever you need them, allowing yourself to tune in and allowing the hands on to just give you more information to the sensations of the sound and just the touch of your body as we tune into this head tail connection central channel. And your exhale can last as long as it lasts. You don't need to draw it out, just whatever feels good. And the hands are just going to slowly come down to your neck, throat, collarbones. So it's almost like they're joining together right in front of your vocal cords. And then the next place we're going to go to is one hand up on your chest and the other hand very low on your belly. So maybe your finger is touching your pubic bone. So you're getting the full length of your torso. But it feels kind of weird to have your hand high in your throat. So somewhere comfortably over your sternum. And again, theta breath. If you're not ready to move on, if you want to stay in one area, feel free to do that. This is just a map. It's just a suggestion to follow this map. If other things are coming up, you can absolutely stay there and go in your own journey. And then the last place is going to be your hands at the back of your head, sort of nape of your neck hairline, and the other one on your sacrum. So lower back, tailbone up to your waist. And again, if micro movement is coming up, that's fine. So, as we come to the end of that round, I'm also realizing that my plans were a little over ambitious for what I think can actually happen in this amount of time. So, I think just taking a little bit of time for open movement where you can add sound, the theta breath, if that feels good. And then after a few minutes, I'll invite us back in to go again with the hum. And we can do that with the same sort of map, but maybe slower, maybe faster, really allowing yourself to honor what's coming up for you. The invitation is to come into this sense of head tail connection. We've kind of mapped our way from the outside of our body, but inviting in the participation of the deep center of your body. So, through from your brain down through your nervous system, maybe routing out through your limbs a little bit, but feeling into this connection of the spine really connected through the nervous system, connected through this fluid and living tissue. So just allowing yourself to tune into that spinal movements, maybe micro movement, feeling into what it is embryologically, like within 2 weeks of the egg and the sperm connecting, the midline starts to form, the primitive streak or the notochord starts to form. And so we really, as beings, start there. It's a great place to start with this center line, this deep central channel. And that's that relationship of upper to lower, this verticality of a erect standing human. So letting ourselves play with that a little bit, being playful in our experience of having a head and a tail and the relationship in between. And if the tentacles or the arms or the legs want to get involved, that's totally fine. We're not limiting this to just the head tail. We're letting the whole experience of being and of movement come in, inviting in a sense of flow. And that flow may be kind of moving between really free flow that's very childlike and easy, just arising, or it might be very bound flow, which is much more sort of mature and bound, much more connected and planned. So, inviting the free flow to bubble up in the watery nature of your body, but also allowing the bound flow to be there too as we come into familiar movements. So, I'm going to invite us in with the humming. If you're not ready for that, don't feel like you need to go there. But I'm just going to go through the same map one more time with the hum. It's really interesting to see when you're making the vibration of sound in your body, how that resonates in your bones and in your tissues. So, starting with your hands on your eyes, if you're ready to go on the hum journey, deep breath in, then humming out your exhale. Inviting in any kind of micro movement or kind of facial squishing or any kind of internal adjustments that feel good. So going for like 3 to 5 in each location. The next location will be ears. You can stay on your eyes longer if you want to. And if it feels like too much, if it feels like it's exhausting or wearing you out, just let go of any of it. Work with what feels nourishing, what feels good. Yeah, I'm just going to do, I think, 2 of those because that feels kind of like a lot with my cold. So stay longer, move along, whatever you need to do. I'm going for throat now, and I'll probably just do 2. I was recommending 3 to 5, but the way that my body feels right now, 2 is plenty. Yeah, and some of these places for me, like once I go into that place, sometimes my body wants to be really still. And I just want to dive into that sensation. And sometimes it wants to move. So letting yourself honor whatever's coming up. Resting breaths anytime you need them. And adding a 2 to 5 to more, however many you want. Hums with hands on low belly pubic bone and rib cage, upper chest. And just to name what this is for me, like I feel like as I'm going into these places with these sounds, I'm really listening into what feels good. So I'm listening to my body and speaking a different language than words. It's like a language of breath, sound, movement, and tempo. Some things are faster, some things are slower. And you can trust that there isn't a right or wrong here. If it feels good, if it's interesting, if it's drawing you in, then that's it. There's no answer or solution. It's just being. I'm changing to the back, hand on sacrum in the back of my neck. And you're offering your body the chance for this sort of organic expression to express in whatever way feels good and interesting, and just allowing movement to come up, which sometimes takes a long time if you've been really taught how to move. If there's a right and a wrong way, sometimes letting go of that and allowing movement to happen, kind of nudging it and listening for it is another a skill of letting go. So I'm going to let go of all the sounding for right now and just offer that for the next while, you can go into any kind of movement or position that you want to, trying things on your back, on the floor, on your side, on all fours, however it feels good to you. I'm actually going to add music and you can also do hands on. So you could stay seated or you can take it to the floor. And I'm going to add some Jeff Gersh ambient fields because it's so helpful. And just allow your body to respond in whatever way feels good and interesting in this moment to you. And it's so beyond like the intellect. It's so much just experience and being present with if you come across uncomfortable things or difficult things, just pause, take time, breathe into it, or go somewhere totally different, right? You can get up and have a drink of water, anything that you need to do. Facing the inner self in a way. Just coming back to this idea of head tail connection, of that spinal snake like fluidity with so many options of movement available. And hands can go anywhere. You can follow the sequence or do something totally different. I'm going to do a couple of minutes of this other song. So allowing your body to really free up and express in any way that feels good. So you don't have to stick with head tail. You can go into everything else. Bringing that one down. Giving yourself a few minutes or a few breaths or whatever it is just to come in to process anything that you need to process. Sometimes it's nice to just do like free writing after doing this, or do some kind of drawing or something where you can, I mean, I feel like the free writing, like the automatic writing might be the move, not planning a dissertation or anything, but just allowing things to flow out. So these types of practices are really to improve the flow in your life, to improve the flow in your movement, to improve the flow in your body, in the fluids in your body, right? We're coming back to that idea that we are bodies of water primarily, and that we're on this planet Earth, right? So we've got these elements within us and around us that can really help us exist here on the planet. So if you are there in TV land, take your time coming down, coming in,